Hi, I'm Enchanting Nubianette. Welcome back. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Breaking news, everyone. Your president, Donald Trump, is currently strongly considering a federal takeover of Washington, D.C. Here it is. Now, if you have been anywhere near the mall or downtown this week, you probably felt it and seen it. There's so many more badges, more sirens, more federal uniforms now more than ever. The White House greenlit a short term surge of federal law enforcement officers across DC's tourist hubs, the federal parkland, and so many areas, and it's pitched as a show of force because this is how it started, everyone. Unfortunately, there was a high profile assault near DuPont. Real talk. It's like martial law, allegedly. So, the city right now is being handed over to the military, the federal police, and there's going to be a broader amount of federal control. Right now, according to news reports, there's about 450 federal officers, including the FBI, the ATF, and dozens of other agencies patrolling in DC. Donald Trump said he is no more Mr. Nice Guy. Everybody, you need to watch out. Watch out. He said he's making DC more beautiful again, and all the criminals will be put in jail promptly. This is really happening, everyone. Now, the operation is framed in a 1 week push. It could be extended, it may not be only for 1 week. So, there's layers and layers of federal officers on top of the members of, we know that there's a lot of members of parliament. A lot of decisions have been made for these day to day places that people visit. Commuters um, are going to, again, like the malls, the monument, transit hubs, a lot of areas that's, very vast that hold a lot of crowds. There are some Republicans who are applauding right now. There's a lot of DC leaders and also people who have civil liberties, and they're happy about this. It's like a political theater almost, but they say that they want the city's crime trend to move down. Of course, anyone wants crime to move down. But the interesting thing is, according to the reports, that crime has been down even 30%. And this has been since 2024. I'll get into that in a few minutes. Now, before anyone asks regarding if the feds can do that, yes, they can, because it's on federal land and under long-standing coordination laws. DC already runs on, there's so many agencies. There's the members of parliament, the US Park Police, Secret Service, the Capitol Police. They have Amtrak, the Metro Transit Police, US Marshals. There's over about 30, I believe, federal units that's authorized to assist there. And I believe, in my perspective, that many Democrats are going to give a lot of pushback and are unionizing right now, trying to be on one accord to give this a lot of pushback because they don't want to have so much control. Of course, we want crime to go down, but we don't want, to feel like we're locked in and we don't have any say so and we can't exercise our rights. However, I do believe that, of course, criminals, they need to be held accountable. They should not be caught and then released either. Another point I want to make is there are encampment crackdowns too. And this is moving very, very swiftly right now. It's immediate. Now, along with this surge, this federal surge that's happening at the White House, there is an order to clear the homeless encampments all over. And this was backed by July 24th, the executive order that was pushing cities to ban all public camping, and quality of life enforcement should be, of course, focused on. We all want a quality of life, and anyone who's homeless, their intention is to have a quality of life as well. I know people, there are people who are even working and they are homeless, and we know what happens. Right now, because the rent is skyrocketed. Buying a house is very difficult for many people, couples who are making a high income as well. So we all want a quality of life. However, Trump says that he wants DC to be beautiful by removing the homeless people, and the government will be placing them in another area, but it's going to be far, far, far away from the capital. So we'll hear a lot of feedback as far as the homeless people and, their perspective, because it affects them greatly. So let's continue. So this removal will definitely be on the National Park Service grounds. And again, it's going to be a very, very quick procedure. It may take about 2 weeks for that protocol to be completed. And there are many service providers who are sounding the alarm and the due process that's occurring right now, this on Sunday. And you've probably seen it, everyone, where multiple sites have been cleared since spring in other areas. They have the Interior and MPS have confirmed that so many dozens of encampments have been removed as part of this federal initiative. So meanwhile, the administration has sidelined the entire staff of the U.S. Interagency Council on Homelessness. There's a lot of coordination that needs to take place, so I'm really hoping that people who are homeless are able to live in a new place that they're happy with, that they'll be satisfied, that they feel safe, and they have, food provided for them as well. So regarding the numbers, the crime has been falling, and I'm going to keep it 100. According to DC's 2025, the crime story has been good news. The violent crime has been down 26%, according to the news. Homicides have been down even 12%, even in the same period last year. And in 2024, as I mentioned earlier, according to reports online, it says that the year finished with the lowest violent crime level in 30 plus years. And this is according to the U.S. Attorney's Office and year-end tables. So, we know that there's crime in large cities like DC, New York City, California, Atlanta, for example. But do we really want to be federalized? That's the question. And speaking about New York, Trump says that he is going to focus on New York next. I'm not feeling good about this because, of course, I want crime to go down, but in the way that we have so many law enforcement and, they're not being held accountable when they commit, certain fatalities and even mistakes, quote unquote mistakes. I really don't want to see New York federalized or our nation. So, continuing on regarding the power play here. According to the news, that Republicans on the Hill have filed the Bowser Act, and it's a bill that flat out repeals the Home Rule Act of 1973, 1 year after the enactment. So effectively ending 50 plus years of local self-government and putting Congress back in the driver's seat. So this has been introduced to both chambers to become law. It needs the House and the Senate majorities and the president's signature. So this is what may happen in the near future. So again, I believe that this will come with serious pushback from DC leaders, even statehood groups, civil liberties organizations like Think DC Vote and ACLU DC. They're already mobilizing. And it's stated that the delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton and others have been clear that this would disenfranchise 700,000 residents and even cause a lot of the, court conflicts with the Supreme Court. So there's a lot going on here, everyone. And a lot of national outlets, a lot of news media, they're leaning on different sides right now because it's a lot legally and logistically. So what are the odds of this really, manifesting, and we're going to live this life where everything is more controlled? We're going to see what happens with this bill. That everything is pending right now. It's a packed agenda for this fall 2025. We're going to see what happens with the Republicans and Democrats and the different oppositions. It's a lot to think about. So we'll see first and foremost how long the surge really lasts. It's pitched that it may be 1 week. It may be extended to 2 weeks or more. Again, it's a broad federal control, and I'm going to prepare to see a lot of protests regarding this too. I just hope for the best. I'll definitely keep updated. There's a lot going on for these upcoming months. And again, everyone, thank you for watching. I really hope that everyone can, stay safe, and we can, live our life with a better quality of living, of course. But again, please drop a comment below. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.
Threatening a federal takeover of the nation's capital in an alleged effort to stomp out violent crime. Now, the president has been suggesting this federal takeover in recent days after a former DOJ official was caught up in recent violence in D.C. Now, this weekend, the president posted on his Truth Social platform that he will hold a news conference tomorrow on his efforts, again, to stop crime in the district, stating that D.C. is one of the most dangerous cities anywhere in the world. Now, this does go against D.C. police crime numbers, which show violent crime is down 26% this year so far. Overnight, the White House deployed 450 federal law enforcement officers across the 4 D.C. quadrants to patrol district streets. Yesterday, we heard from Ward 5 council member Zachary Parker in response to the president's comments. He says, quote, "What will the history books say about this moment? We have to resist. This moment demands courage. We must rise to the occasion," end quote. We'll be sure to update you on what the president announces come Monday.